Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere. Welcome, everybody.
We are glad that you joined us for the Been There Doing That podcast.
Yes, we are.
Wow, Robert,
I'm excited.
Why are you excited, Robert?
Well, the Jeep is going.
The Jeep is going. What happened in the last couple of weeks with the Jeep?
Head gasket replacement.
Why did we have to do that?
Preventative maintenance, I call it. But some say it was a lot of trouble to do it.
But you took off the head of... I don't know much about...
You weren't there for it.
I wasn't. You went
to
to your dad's and elicited his help.
Yes.
Thank
Easy
goodness.
for you to say.
Yes. Thank you, Dad, for helping your son with that.
He was there for moral support.
Handing you tools.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he make you tea like I do?
No.
Oh.
He did take me out to eat, though.
Oh,
Ooh,
probably,
there you go.
Probably better than what I do. But you took off the engine.
No. Took off the head off the engine.
And what did you find?
It was gunked up in there.
Yeah.
It was gunked up. We've had the Jeep for almost 15 years. So
you had it PG.
Yeah, I had it before I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the driving, I know how it's been driven.
Mm-hmm. What year is it again?
98.
And
it's
you?
a 98 4-liter Jeep Wrangler Sport.
And you got it when? In 2004?
It was 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So 14 years.
So you took the head off the engine and it was all gunked up. So what did you do? You called me and said, well, this is what I'm going to do.
I was going to take it and get it at the machine shop, get it resurfaced, get new valves put in it, new valves guides and stuff like that.
Where did you take it?
Took it to Mother's. I called them. They said, Mother's!
That's hilarious. Well, you went, it's in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
And
first time I went there and went in the front door and they said, may I help you? I was looking around at the counter down there. They had a bunch of old film cameras.
Well,
and I was like, ooh.
That's pretty interesting, but that's not what you were there for.
Not what I was there for. I said, I'm looking for the machine shop. Oh, round the corner to the back and go around the side there, and it's got a docking gate. And it was totally different from what up front. I still don't know what they sell up front.
We should go back and explore that.
Yeah, film cameras look nice.
Well, then, what did you find? Did it look like a typical machine shop?
Yeah. It was dirty, grimy, and it smelled like a machine shop.
Well, and they took it in and they had it for quite a while.
I think almost 2 weeks, week and a half at least.
Yeah, but they did the surfacing. What does that mean?
Resurfaced it, made it level.
Okay.
No warpage, checked it for cracks.
And I guess there were no cracks.
There was no cracks, so they're prone to cracking between cylinder 3 and 4.
And thank goodness there's no cracks.
Yeah, so we're good for 100,000 miles or more.
And those little hole things were cleaned out. Where the injector stuff goes? No. What?
The orifices for the coolant to pass through. The passageways for the coolant.
Well, the way you explained it to me, I took it as it's kind of like clearing out your arteries.
Well, that's close enough.
Okay. Well, that's, I'm not mechanically inclined, although my dad was a mechanic. It just didn't rub off on me. I'm a girl, and so I was able to kind of get out of the learning how to fix cars.
With your cuteness.
Just because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
So that was okay, but I do help.
Yeah, you're a good tool hander.
Mm-hmm. So when you got the head back, you painted it or something.
I did. Put
How
some
come?
rust inhibitor on it.
Rust inhibitor, also known as spray paint.
Yeah, spray paint. Taped it off, put it back on there, and didn't take very long to put it back together. Had everything laid out nice and neat, except for 2 bolts. Don't know where they go.
Are all the bolts for the engine in there?
Well, I hope so. There's only 2 left over, so it's
Well,
nothing. We've drove it, I think, almost 600 miles since, and it's still there.
Okay. Do you have those bolts handy
Yeah,
in the Jeep?
Yeah, I do.
Just in case?
Just in case.
Okay.
But by then, it might be too late.
You think that the engine might fall out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It won't blow up, will it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, then I guess we're okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's entire...
I think the factory put too many in there.
That's what you tell me.
Every time.
When you replace the heater core, you had a lot of screws left over for that.
Don't need that many screws in the dash.
No.
It's extra weight carrying around.
Exactly. And you got the engine put in. We bought a little meter, or what did we buy at Wal-Mart? That's just like a $20 little tool to see the codes that might be thrown.
Engine code reader.
Oh, well, that was easy to say.
Yeah. Why didn't you say so?
I don't know what we're doing.
It was $20 or $21 with tax and all. It's been handy.
Gosh, if anybody's been following us on this podcast, we've talked about the what is that? The
vapor locking.
The vapor lock issue that we keep trying to.
At least the symptoms seems like vapor lock.
And we've done a lot of different things. You bought that code reader. Well, first of all, you got the engine put back together, and I think because I had gotten this text with it, I think it was supposed to be a video, but the picture didn't come through. But I heard the engine running, so I bet you were happy that it started right up.
It started right up, idled fine, and that was it.
Good. And
we drove it.
And we drove it. We drove it back home.
Test drove it to lunch that day.
We've been wanting to test drive it quite a bit before we head out west to Flagstaff area in April. So far, like you said.
Get the bugs worked out.
Yeah, get the bugs worked out. But you've been using that code reader quite a bit just to see what's going on and really testing things. And you ended up, it threw a code, something about an injector.
It was, I think, P0302 and P0306.
Talking cursive?
Yeah, well, of course. I think it was a random misfire is what it threw up for cylinder 2 and 6. I replaced an injector in it in Tennessee, and it hasn't thrown that cylinder, so I'm thinking it's injectors.
Okay.
Replaced an injector recently.
In Tennessee, which injector did we replace?
Number 3.
Number 3. You bought, because of that code, we're trying to diagnose things, so you bought an injector, because they go for $50.
$50 bill.
You bought injector and replaced it where? On 3?
On number 2.
On number 2. So
here,
now,
recently.
So number 2 and number 3
have been replaced.
And we're thinking we're going to be doing the rest of them, but number 6 would be next, right?
Yes.
And we're
just because it throws that code, random misfire cylinder number 6, quite often. Since I put number 2 in there and number 3, the idle has smoothed out and going down on the tachometer, driving, it doesn't fluctuate as much.
We get the vapor lock issue when it's really hot.
Yes.
In town driving and up mountains.
Long, steep climbs.
Yeah. And we haven't really had that since you've put together the engine.
Exactly.
So.
And it's been cooler weather, so we just drive it as much as possible to stop and go.
You have been super excited about the temperature gauge.
Yes, it's running cooler now that all them passageways is cleaned out.
Yeah, you always look at the temperature gauge, and you always like it to run on the cool side.
Cooler. So. They say it's designed for 210, but that's pushing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what else? I guess that's about it with the Jeep.
It's running good so far.
And we'll probably get at least one more injector before we go out west.
That would be good.
We may get a few more.
May just replace them all and be done with it.
We may. And then tires are on our shopping list.
Tires, yes.
Anything else that we have to bite the bullet and get before we go out there?
No.
Please let that be a definitive no.
No.
No? Oh, well. Well, you're shopping around for tires.
Tires, that's a big one.
Because
unless you're a tire sponsor and want to sponsor us, we'll take it.
Exactly. The tires are, gosh, we got those in Florida.
Nope.
No.
We got those in Springfield, Missouri, 2012.
When we first
158,000
back.
miles.
And they have seen more miles than what the odometer shows because
It's been towed behind the RV.
Yes, many, many miles. Went up to...
So it's probably got 60,000 miles on those tires.
Yeah.
Because I've driven 50,000.
Yeah. So realistically, we should have gotten tires a
and
while back.
Well, they're 6 years old now.
Mm-hmm. You say we don't have to get a spare.
I don't have to.
You're looking at different size tires.
If you would like to have a spare, then...
No, we have a spare, but you're looking at different size tires. And would it matter if we didn't get the same size?
Not for what we're wanting to do.
What are we wanting to do?
Not have a flat.
Okay, smart Alec. Smart Robert.
Yeah.
The size of tires on there now are...
A 31 by 10.5, 15.
And you want to get...
Equivalent or 30 by 9.5, 15. 1 inch difference.
1 inch difference. What's that going to do for us? Anything?
That much right there. Nothing.
Nothing, just cheaper?
The spare is a 31, 10.5, 15. So if we have to use it, we can use it because we got an open rear end, open differential.
Okay.
It's not locked.
If it was locked, then...
we might have issues.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it on our vehicle. But we celebrated a
President's Day? Was
wonderful day just recently. I'm thinking
it was Saturday, wasn't it?
No.
Friday.
It was a Friday.
I know Thursday we went out to eat.
We probably went out to eat
Wednesday too.
We celebrated that monumentous day like 4 or 5 days in a row.
We didn't forget it this year.
No, not like we usually do. Everybody should celebrate it.
Why not? Just make it a national holiday.
Yeah, March 2nd.
Is that the date?
That's the date.
3rd month, 2nd day. There we go.
Yes, and that was our wedding anniversary.
Huh.
Yes.
Imagine that.
And typically...
It's been 8 years.
8 years since we've been officially married. I think we were married before that, just in spirit. But officially we were married...
3210.
Yes, so that we would remember.
3rd month, 2nd day of 2010. There's a pig running down the road.
Oh my goodness. Huh. Interrupted by pigs.
Yeah.
But we chose 3210 so that we would not forget. But almost every year we forget.
It's coming up. It went by. We didn't celebrate.
We didn't even celebrate it. So we decided to go out to eat. We went Mexican one night, and then we went to White's Grill another night.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, but boy, it was comfort food.
Hit the spot.
It was. And then Friday, the previous Sunday before our anniversary, I wanted to get you a gift and surprise you. But I realized as I was trying to order this gift and I just knew, I'm ordering it way too late, and I'll just order it and it'll just come after. But I started to order this gift and I realized, I better bring you in on this because it might be the wrong thing that I wanted to order. And what I was ordering were phone cases. And it would be personalized. They're phone cases with our Jeep or a picture of your choice with our Been There Doing That logo on it.
Yeah.
And I interrupted your ham radio time when you were talking to people and said, come into my office.
Which wasn't very far.
And you came over. And were you surprised at that moment?
I was.
Okay, good. and so we ordered the cases, and I was excited. After you went on your merry way, I then proceeded to order something else and hoping that you wouldn't figure it out.
Wouldn't notice.
Yeah. You didn't notice, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
Not until you said, here, open this.
Well, I was so excited that the package came the day of our anniversary. I was really excited. So I came in and had you open it, and then my balloon just deflated after
Took the wind out of your sails.
Just took the wind out of it. We opened these cases, and they looked like a negative. instead of a positive
like
picture.
A film negatives.
A film negative, which could have been artsy, but yeah, it's not what I wanted. And so I was disappointed because they were cool pictures of the Jeep. I picked one for myself because I wanted an anniversary gift, so I bought one for myself. And I
didn't want to feel left out either.
I didn't. So I was so disappointed, and so I kind of moped around part of that day.
I could tell.
I tried not to make it dampen the whole day, but I was sad. Then we had planned a trip for Saturday. When we got back from that trip, I went to the mailbox, and actually we got it on the Sunday. I knew it was delivered, but the other package came, and you had no idea.
No idea.
And that was T-shirts with our Been There Doing That logo on it. So I was excited. Those turned out really nice.
Yeah.
I think we should throw them up on our website.
Why not?
What do you think?
Well, let's
do it.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I like them. Maybe no one else would, but maybe somebody might like a Been There Doing
That.
That.
Purchase one.
Well, then they could. Yes, let's get those up on the website. Well, but Saturday after our anniversary, we had been planning to go to where was it? What town?
Concordia, Missouri.
It's a small town.
2,400 people.
That's a small town. Mm-hmm. Because they have a pre-1865 living history trade fair. And who puts that on?
I think it was held by Blackwater Buckskinners.
They don't have a website, I don't think.
Not that I know of.
But they do have a Facebook page.
But it was their 7th annual, so they've been doing it for a while.
Excellent. I was excited for a road trip.
First time to test out the Jeep, too.
Exactly. So if we got stranded, charge up the phones, make sure we can get somebody. But luckily we didn't get stranded. The Jeep did a fantastic job. It's a couple of hour drive north.
It's every bit of 2 hours the way we went.
Mm-hmm. We got there. It was in Concordia's community center. And what that consisted of was just vendors setting at tables. And I think that those vendors didn't have to pay anything.
They said it was free.
It was free to set up.
And they had some sort of door prize raffle.
Oh, they had Easter eggs. We signed in, and they had Easter eggs that they gave us. And in our Easter egg, we have like a free movie that we can have.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's in my purse. You
didn't let me know these things.
Yeah, it's one of those red box movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I guess
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Let's go rent a movie. But we don't have to rent it because it's free.
Right on.
And we participated in some raffles. They were raffling off some guns and things like that. We didn't win, but oh well. It
was worth it.
It was. Well, what kind of things were they selling, Robert, at the fair?
Oh, beadwork. I did see that. Leather items. Supposed to pertain to 1865 or earlier.
So
Civil War era or earlier.
So there were several guns and gun parts.
Yeah, there was anything to do with black powder, shooting, hunting pouches, hunting frocks, hunting shirts, breeches, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really cool. Their artwork or their handiwork, the craftsmanship was really nice, I thought. And I'm assuming everything was all the leather was hand sewn, but maybe not.
Some of it I think was machine sewn, but the good stuff was hand sewn and was, you could tell, different. One guy from
Wyoming?
Chugwater, Wyoming.
Oh,
he had some gorgeous stuff.
He did. His beadwork on his leather and his leather crafting was just out of this world. It was wonderful. He's really I could tell he's really into it. He just travels all over doing that.
That's got to be his job.
Mm-hmm. There were several people, the vendors especially, that were in pre-1865 costume.
Yep.
Which was cool.
Period dress was encouraged.
Yes.
If you had the dress or dress up,
You didn't wear your whole full garb.
No, I didn't.
You wore
on
your
my
shirt
and my hat.
and your hat. But you saw, well, we both saw this one lady that had a coonskin cap.
Yeah.
And some sort of vest. I don't know if it was bear or...
It looked like bear.
Did she wear regular jeans or leather jeans?
Regular jeans.
But she was dressed up, and that was pretty cool.
Stuff you don't normally see every day.
Exactly. And
or you do a double take. What was that?
There was this guy that was wearing a hat that you took a picture of.
Otter hat.
It was an otter hat. That was a really cool design,
Mm-hmm.
too. And you were looking at things to give you inspiration on your leather work.
Yes, and I bought 4 books.
What were those?
The Book of Buckskinning. I had a couple of them as a kid, and then between moving and stuff, I lost them somewhere. But got 4 of them now.
Is there several in the series?
I think there's 7 or 8.
And
the first one came out in, I think, 81, 2 or 3, and all the way up to the end of the 90s. A whole set of them.
I'm interested in doing some of that bead work. I don't know if my eyesight's good enough to do it, but they have magnifiers. Those seed beads.
We're not getting any younger.
No. Those seed beads are very tiny, and I've done
very hard to see.
Yes. But
you can laugh.
Okay. He he. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's on ham radio?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, hi. The seed beads are so tiny, but that lady that was doing the beadwork, some of her work was not pre-1865, but she did special orders, and she would do hat bands and other things just made to order for whatever someone wanted. And some of her stuff was 3D.
Three-dimensional.
Yeah, she had like a 3D dragon. And she told me that she had done a 3D hummingbird out of those seed beads. And that, I was just, it's not that I would have worn that 3D dragon necklace, but just looking at the craftsmanship, the craftsmanship was just phenomenal. What else was there? The pouches. You do some of the pouch work.
The hunting pouches and possible bags and small neck bags and stuff like it.
That one
knife
guy.
Sheath.
That one guy that had the neck knives.
Mm-hmm.
I like those.
Yep.
I think I might need one of those.
You really?
I don't know.
I think you might need 2 of them.
Okay.
One for me, one for you.
Oh, yes. That might be. We'll find the knife and you can make the neck pouch.
That'll work.
But we had a great time. We stayed there, I don't know, a couple of hours,
Several
I think.
hours, yeah. Started at 8 and we were a little bit late getting there. Stayed for a couple hours and then went and ate lunch.
Yeah, we went next door. There was a church that was converted to a antique / restaurant type thing. I don't think it was a tea room.
No, they had a lot more food there than a normal tea room would.
Yeah. And, it was pretty good food. And we looked around the antique store. Didn't find anything, but...
Almost did, but I didn't.
Almost, but we put it back.
Yeah.
We didn't need it. I like that the church was converted into an antique store. It was just really cute.
Had a lot of stuff downstairs in the basement.
Yes.
40 vendors, I think, downstairs.
It was great. One of the cutest things are just something that humored me. We saw 2 big buckets full of pipes. Those homemade, handmade wooden pipes like you smoke.
Oh, those pipes.
Yeah. They weren't corncob pipes, but they kind of looked like it. And they were made out of wood, and I guess you could use them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It might catch on fire.
Well, other pipes are made out of wood. And
corn cobs.
And the corn cobs. So I don't see why you couldn't. But that humored me.
That did. 2 big old buckets of them.
But we had a good time. And then afterwards, we went to Marshall.
Yeah, it was only a 30, 40-minute drive.
And you and I visited with one of your hand buddies.
Yeah, we've seen him twice now.
Mm-hmm.
It's by air, I think it's only 100 miles by air, but driving there, it's quite a drive to get to Marshall, Missouri.
Yeah, from where we live. And so we enjoyed ourselves there, and then after seeing him, we headed on home.
Yeah, It's a good time visiting.
It was. So
And it was a beautiful day.
It was a gorgeous.
No wind. It was bright and sunny out.
Mhm.
I'd say 63.
I would call that a very successful anniversary trip.
And
Day trip.
We stopped at a state park on the way back.
Yes, Knob Noster State Park, and that's right outside of Whiteman Air Force Base. And we were, we don't see these every day, but we saw what kind of planes?
I think it was the B-2 bomber.
Mm-hmm. So I'll
looked over and it was going sideways, and I said, "Well, there's a kite. That's not a kite.
That's no kite.
That's a big one."
I don't know if we saw more than one or the same one like 6 times circling around. But
practice probably.
But that for us that was neat. But
for them, they probably see it every day.
They do. I'm sure they do. And we tried to get a picture, but really weren't successful.
Well, I was driving, so I couldn't do it.
I was not successful.
Oh.
There'll be another time, I'm sure. So maybe. But we've got it burned in our brain, Robert.
Yeah. Just look B-2 bomber.
B-2 bomber. Well, wrap it up, Robert.
Yeah. Where can they find us at, Gayla?
How come you always want me to wrap it up?
Well, you said wrap it up, so I started it. Now you can get the ball rolling.
Oh, yes.
Wrap it up, Gayla.
They can find us at BeenThereDoingThat.com.
Where can they find us on Instagram?
Been There Doing That.
Hey, that's right. Where can they find us on Facebook?
Been There Doing That. And guess what? If you guys want to email us at podcast@BeenThereDoingThat, drop us a note or
say howdy.
Let us know what you'd like to know about anything that's going on. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time,
We'll catch you later.